Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. I hope every single one of you is doing great today. It's just gone 8 p.m. and I'm having a coffee on a Sunday. Framed, thank you so much for being here. You do get first today. Congratulations. Our usual suspects are nowhere to be seen, who is Reed and Superhands. 07 Bulb, thank you so much for 17 months of subs, currently on a 14-month streak. That's kind of crazy. Just BMT, good evening, good sir. Anarchy as well. Motion's here too. Jenga and Bartowski, thank you so much for being here. Alvi says good evening to everybody. So does your average Joe. Jabronis is here as well, so is Keeper. Amen TMT. Hey man, good to see you, dude. Thank you for being here. Ray the Kid is here as well. So is Jehovah in bed. Kabu Momi. Hey man, good to see you, dude. He says, hi Jay, been a very long time. It certainly has. I hope you're doing well. Newfie's here too, says, hope you're all enjoying the bank holiday weekend. For those that don't know, here in the UK, tomorrow, is Bank Holiday Monday, which is a public holiday here. We have a few dotted throughout the year, and that basically means that no one works tomorrow except silly people like me, because I'll be here. Dynamics is here as well. So is Mr. Kool-Aid himself. He says, right, time to start organising the keyboard cupboards whilst I listen to Jane. Well, I hope you're doing well with your keyboard cupboards, good sir. True Blaze is here too. So is Jellymaster. Thank you so much for 45 months of subs, dude. Thoroughly appreciate that. Mr. Rob27 Shred as well. So is Grey Hands. BK is here as well. Captain Reed says, I did not come first. No, you were not first today, sir. You were not first today. Storesness, good evening, good sir. Kalain said, just had to do a quick welfare check on Captain Reed. Got worried. Yeah, I was surprised he wasn't. Usually when I load up the software to start streaming, sorry, I've got a little scratch on my hand. When I load up the software to start streaming about an hour before the stream, 45 minutes before, there's usually a couple of people who've tried to get the first comment on stream. Usually it's Superhands or Mr. Reed or someone else, but there's kind of like a group of people. Who I usually expect to see that. And today, there was no one. Unless they were there before I turned up, because I was quite late getting everything set up today, because I was recording an episode of Roll for Caffeine for the coffee company, which will be live tomorrow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And then tomorrow I'll record the next day. So I wanted to try and get like a day ahead. So I recorded one this morning, which is already live, and I recorded one this afternoon, which is for tomorrow morning. So I'm kind of always going to be recording a day ahead, just in case anything happens or I can't record for a day or whatever. So yeah. Reed was distracted with Satisfactory. Do you know, I've never played the game. I've always fancied playing Satisfactory. I feel like I will get very addicted to it very quickly, but I have not tried it. So is it worthwhile trying? Look at you, pre-recording stuff, professional content creator. I am not a professional content creator. I am nervous when I'm recording it. Even when I stream, I'm really nervous. I struggle with the software to get it to do what I want it to do. I struggle with where to cut things because I have to keep it all under 3 minutes. I struggle with where to put breaks in and when to do different screen gaps. I struggle with ideas on how I want to frame stuff. I don't have all of the equipment I need. I don't want to spend more money on more equipment until I know the series is going to do well enough to support buying more equipment. So yeah, it's all a whole thing. It's all a whole thing. It's fun, scratches your brain. Nice. Mr. Geeky, good evening, good sir. Thank you so much for being here. This is the 1965 Moonswatch. Yeah. I have a few of them. I have the pink one downstairs, and then I have all of the original 9, 8 as well. So yeah, I've been collecting the Moonswatches since they first came out. Khalid says, do not try Satisfactory, a black hole that is hard to escape from. If Jay's professional and a content creator, is he not there for a professional content creator? I don't think you've been able to put the word professional as synonymous with my name since I left having a regular job. Since I became a business owner and runner, I mean, it depends. Like, I know that makes it sound professional when I say those words, but really running prototypist is very different from running anything corporate, right? So I wouldn't. I and I are about whether I should say that is technically a professional role. I don't know. BK, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I'm not a professional typist. In fact, I'm a terrible typist. I am a prototypist in the fact that I own the brand and I like to make prototypes of things. And I run the company, of course, and the company's all legitimate and everything else. And I have the coffee company as well, which is technically part of the same company, but it's a separate brand. But yeah, I don't know. Jay would have to pay himself something to be professional. That's true. That's true. Without an income, are you really professional? I don't know. How do you do the world's best performance review with someone? Take them to the pub. Everyone knows that. You just go to the pub. Take them to the pub. You have a drink. You have a chat. It's the easiest way, right? David says, even though, hey, Mr. Cool Keys, I hope you're doing well. Ellie Rand, thank you so much for 37 months of subs as well. I really appreciate that. Resident Yapper says, you became an entrepreneur. Oof. I don't like that word. I don't like that word. I don't feel like the word entrepreneur applies to me. That feels like a stretch. So does content creator feel like a stretch. CEO, technically, I suppose. Director is the word we tend to use here in the UK, but CEO, director, yeah. Started in custom mechanical keyboards and has expanded into signature coffee brand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have some very similar words to that on my CV. And I feel like my CV is pretty impressive. Whether you could class the last 5 years of me acting as a professional, I don't know. Performance review. Keyboard influencer. I'm not a keyboard influencer. No way. Entrepreneur implies I make money. I mean, that's true. That's true. I do like Geeky Ed's performance review. I think the thing is, like, if you do a performance review of people, you need to have it. You need to do it in. It's got to be. Do you know the best way to do a performance review? It's to do 3 things. The first one is you ask them what they think has gone well and what they think has gone bad. And then the second thing you do is you ask them how you've performed as their boss. What are they getting from you? Are they getting the right things from you? Because people can only flourish in a corporate or business type role if they're getting feedback in the right ways. And different people need feedback in different ways. So when you are discussing how they've performed, it's actually your own performance review as their line manager or manager as well, because if they perform badly, that's on you to an extent. Maybe not totally, but like there's a big element of that comes from you. Have you given them the right support? Have you provided the right, training opportunities, all of that kind of thing? So one of the best things you can do is you can flip the conversation around and ask them to explain how you've supported them and whether they need any support like that. And then the third thing is get drunk. No, the third thing is then relate it back to what's going to happen in the future. So you then take all of that information from the first 2 points and you build a targeted plan together about how you're both going to push that forwards. And as line manager, it might be to create more opportunities for them, to give them a wider remit, to provide, networking solutions, or to introduce them to key players, or to whatever it might be. Give them some hard skills, such as send them on an Excel course, for example, or whatever. You need to build it that way, but you need to be making sure that you're giving them the right support as well. So, yeah. The wordplays in CVs are so much fun sometimes. Absolutely. Self-employed enthusiast. That's probably the most apt description. Brutal at 808. I think I'd lose my job if we did a pub performance review. I don't think so. Are you coming to Clacky Fest next week? No, unfortunately, I just can't make it, guys. Like, it's really expensive because I have to fly to Magaluf, then hire a car and drive down. And by the time I've done that, it's just so much money. It's just unreal. It would be unfair of me to spend company money on doing that. It may be a similar story with ClackyCon, although we are sponsoring ClackyCon to a greater extent, and we're working with the ClackyCon guys to make sure the ClackyCon branding exists going forwards. I'm not sure I can justify that either, and I definitely can't justify going to Novel Keys this year as well. So it's difficult. Keyboard influenza, maybe. It's my performance review tomorrow. Good luck, dude. Sounds pretty professional to me. Yeah, you would say that. When you give them a beer, absolutely. What did I eat for breakfast? Today I had a waffle for breakfast. I had it way after breakfast time though. So to give you some context, my day today, I got up at about 7:30. I went and put some weed killer down in the garden because we have a load of weeds that we're trying to get rid of because we're about to put our house up for sale. And then I came to the workshop. I got here about 8:30, 8:45. Let the coffee machine warm up whilst I was potting around. Recorded some Roll for Caffeine, which is uploaded on Jay's Roastery, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube right now as episode 2. Did a little bit more pottering around, and then had to go and collect some shopping and got home for about 12:15, I think. Then did some other chores around the house and had a waffle kind of about 1 o'clock, I think. So a waffle with maple syrup, it was good. So yeah, that was pretty much my day. But yeah, I don't generally eat for breakfast. I generally have a nice cup of coffee. That's my breakfast usually. Let's go halves on driving to ClackyCon. Very bad, your return good. Message me tomorrow, Mr. Bezic, and we'll see if we can do it. Well, message me tomorrow and we'll see if we can do it. Like, I was looking at flights. It was just so much money. And driving is probably going to be a long time as well. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see what you can do. Yeah. We'll have to share the driving, though. So we'll have to decide whose car we're going in. Which means if we're going in mine, I need to get the CV joint fixed because it's rattling really badly right now. So I wouldn't want to trust it. But we can do that. We can do that. Okay. What else do I need to tell you about PT News? Lots of things are happening this next week. Hyperbase is on the way from GMK, so we're expecting to receive that probably by the end of the week, I think. I'm not sure if GMK actually dispatched it on Thursday when they sent me the email, or whether it's going to be dispatched tomorrow, because it's not a public holiday in Germany, whilst it is in the UK. So yeah, so I'm not quite sure yet. This week is a truncated week from a shipping perspective because whilst I'll be here packing orders on Monday, we can't ship anything until Tuesday because the courier services are closed. So everything is going to ship out on Tuesday. We are going to prioritize US orders because the de minimis rules change on the 29th. So if you are from the US and you want to make an order, place it today. I'll pack it tomorrow. It'll be collected on Tuesday and it'll arrive on Thursday before the de minimis changes on Friday. That's the current plan. So yeah, so that's kind of like going to take up a lot of this week is packing orders from this weekend, because right now if you go on the website, which I will show you, we have, whilst we have Keyboard and Coffee, we have 30% off a huge range of products right now. Everything on that link is 30% off at checkout. So there's a ton of stuff. Absolutely loads of stuff. This is all on sale. There's 9 pages of this right now. So if you want anything from GMK, hats and socks, we have plenty of socks left in stock, or anything else that's in this list, such as a Hebe Relegendable keycap. We only have the white ones left. It's all 30% off at checkout. If you want High Move Raw switches or Zoom 75 Aquamarine Edition, or if you want Mars Cadet or MW Kaworu, or GMK CYL Extended 2048, both base kits are available. So yeah, all of this is available with 30% off. Anything in this 9 pages is 30% off at checkout. So please do check it out. Please have a look. See if there's anything you'd like to pick up. That does finish at midnight on Monday, so in about 28 hours time, something like that. Yeah, but it's a huge sale on a ton of stuff. And the reason we're doing the sale is basically because we need space. We have very little space here at the workshop, and our next container is on the way from China right now. It's at sea. I need to pay the bill for it this week, and it should arrive somewhere in the first couple of weeks in September, I think. I don't have a date just yet. It depends on weather at sea and how long the boat takes, and docks and processes and everything else. But yeah, the plan is for us to have a few shelves free for when all that happens. So that's why there's 30% off right now. So please do check it out. There's a ton of stuff on sale, and it'll all ship on Tuesday. That's the bottom line. You might get a shipping notification on Monday, but it won't actually go anywhere until Tuesday. So there you go. It's not a bad drive there. The bad drive is when you detour to South Germany like an idiot. Hey, we were in South Germany, so you weren't an idiot. Corner of the room isn't a bomb site. The rest is a nightmare. Have to reorganize my 3 cabinets. There's definitely enough room, but it's just untidy. You got this, dude. I know you do. Not in the US, but what are these new rules? Is it just more on import tax? Yeah, so in the US, the Orange Man has decided to impose tariffs on imports. Now, whilst that's not a new thing in its entirety, historically, individuals in the US, they could import items valued up to $800 per shipment without having to pay any import duties or sales tax on those products. From the 29th of August, anything that arrives into the country after that date will have to pay import duties, otherwise known as tariffs, depending on where it was made, what it's made from, and who shipped it. So, yeah. That's a big thing, and I suspect it's going to massively impact our US sales. We ship about 150 orders a week to the US. I suspect that's going to massively drop, and that's going to have some ramifications to PT. That's going to be a big hit on our revenue because that's where we ship a lot of stuff. It's probably around 30% of our shipments are to the US. I reckon that's going to drop down to basically being non-existent, so we're going to take a 30% revenue drop, I think, over the next month or two. Makes it tough. So we'll see. Is Tribal struggling to sell? Feels like it's been in stock for a while and looks amazing. It sells slowly, but it does go. Tribal's a great set as well because it's got some really, really cool, unique novelties. But yeah, it's like most things, most sets we tend to try and buy enough that it sits in stock for about 6 months. That's kind of my aim. Put it in stock, hope it sits there for about 6 months, because then it means that everyone who wanted it has got an opportunity to buy it, and new people come into the hobby that might have missed it then have an opportunity to pick it up as well. Between the group buy, and that's where we do pre-orders, so that if they miss the group buy they can get it in pre-order, if they miss the group buy and the pre-order they can get it in stock, and by that point it's been about a year. So if anyone's joining a year later than we first announced the group buy, I think that's kind of like the ideal time to sell out. So yeah, the Orange Man, yeah. The thing is, like with tariffs, it's gonna be difficult. There's a lot of other companies that have said, oh, we can get around tariffs. The only way to get around tariffs is to basically do a fraud. And I'm not about that life, so we could absolutely say you won't get tariffs from us, and we could commit fraud and change values and originating countries, and we could do all of that kind of stuff, but it would be illegal, and if we got caught we'd get fined, and if we get fined, that's not good because it impacts our viability to operate and everything else. I think that the only real answer we've got here is to just see how it affects things. We can just wait and see what happens with tariffs. I do genuinely think it's going to mean that we see about 30% less revenue. It's one of those things, I can't control it. What does that mean for PT? It means we'll have to cut some corners, maybe reduce staff hours, things like that. It's something we have to face into, unfortunately. We can't protect revenue by committing fraud. That's just not something we can do. Or not something I'm comfortable doing. Other business owners may be comfortable doing that. I don't want to judge them. That's fine. I wouldn't be comfortable doing it. That was aimed at me with the first Clacky Con. Oh, I thought you meant when you came to Germany the last time. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I didn't remember you'd gone to Germany after the first Clacky Con, dude. But maybe you did. I'm tired of winning. I'm so tired of winning. Can we please stop winning? Is that a MAGA reference? Orange is being polite. Tango is more accurate. Fair. I want Tribal to throw in something polycar, but it's a little expensive. Is it? I don't think it's particularly expensive. I tell you what. I will add it. If you're gonna buy it, dude, if you're gonna buy it, Ray the Kid, I will add it to the sale prices. Is it in the sale right now? Let's see. Oh, it's in the sale already. You get 30% off if you buy it. Hold on. Look. You get 30% off down here. You get 30% off just by adding it to cart. So it's going to be £84.59 plus shipping. So it's going to be like $120, something like that, I guess. The president of the US is a criminal and a fraud. You'll be fine. Maybe. I feel like I should probably not fly to America right now, given the fact that I call him the Orange Man all the time on Instagram and on stream. But we'll see. So what you're saying is that you need to move PT to China, do a fraud, ignore every threat, make legal troll through 100 different shell companies so nothing happens. I mean, sure. I bought Grindr from Singapore without paying any tax. Surely they were local for that kind of meetup, right? Out of curiosity, how many staff does PT have? So we technically have 3 members of staff plus a couple of people that we keep on reserve, just in case we have busy times or for design and things like that. For example, Josh isn't on payroll, but he is our internal designer, and whenever we need any designs, he gets paid for the designs that he does, that kind of stuff. And then there's myself, Mel, and Sharon, who work here at PTHQ. Well, Sharon works remotely because she does all of the paperwork, bookkeeping, and accountancy. And then we technically do have an accountant as well, who actually makes sure that all of our accounts are fully up to date with the government, does our VAT returns, and all of that kind of good stuff as well. So yeah. Just kidding. It's terrible, and I'm sorry this is happening. Yeah. Good for you for sticking to your principles. Yeah, I would struggle personally knowing that I was shipping stuff fraudulently. I don't think I'd be able to stomach that. Like, I'd just be terrified all the time, and that's not for me. Just kidding, it's terrible. Yeah, okay. Tribal is 30% off. Yeah. As is the amazing artisan. The artisans are the best part, I think, about Tribal. Oh, sorry, no, I meant the novelty, sorry, which we don't have, but the artisans are really cool too, yeah. Are there tariffs for UK to US too, or is it because GMK comes from the EU? So the tariff is, so it is partly because the GMK, for example, is made in the EU. Anything that's made in China is made in China, and we have to still declare it as such. It's not made here in the UK, even if I'm selling it. But there are tariffs now for every country shipping to the US from the 29th. So from a few days' time. Yeah. Yeah, 10% is from the UK, 15% from the EU. Yeah, but technically, because it's a GMK product, it's from the EU. It'll like I in theory, it will get taxed at the 15% rate. Whether that happens in practice or not, I don't know. Well, we will have to wait and see, because it's impossible. It's what Dear Orange Leader said the first time round, that we'd be tired of winning. I'd like to start losing now, please. Yeah, it's like he also said that the company shipping the product would pay the tariffs as well. Like, that's not how it works. I think what we will do is from a week on Monday, we will turn it on so that US customers will pay their tariffs at checkout, and then they won't have an import bill, and then we'll handle it for them. I think we'll do that, because we already do a very similar thing for EU customers. So I think we'll do that. And we will see if that keeps people shopping with us or not. Jay, have you shilled yet? I can't find the end date for GMK Beachy, and we need more people on board. I haven't, but I will. Let's do some shilling, because I'm terrible at shilling. Okay, we talked about this, the 30% off sale. Please do go do a buy, and you can get all of the general in-stock links here as well. Let's have a look at live pre-orders first, because these are all in manufacturing right now. The Hex 80. I'm surprised that this is not absolutely flying off the shelves, because it's under 200 quid, and it's quite possibly the best Hall Effect custom keyboard on the market right now. Don't understand why that's not selling. It should be flying off the shelves, and it's not. Sloth is about to ship. If you want to get in on Hyper Beige, you can pick up Hyper Beige right now. That will be going away from pre-order in a day or two, because the set is literally on its way to us right now, and it'll go up in price when it gets here. So if you want to get a deal on Hyper Beige, order it now, and it'll still ship in a week. Bear that in mind. I think the same for Sloth. I don't think Sloth's too far away. And Prussian Blue's not too far away either. So that's that. Let's have a look at group buys. I really do love GMK Gurakawa. It's probably the best set this year so far. But speaking of other good sets, I want to call out Cap Tot, which is in group buy right now. This is very much underloved, and I think it's a banger of a set. This will go with any color keyboard. It has a Nordic UK kit as well. And look at these novelties. Look at the detail on these novelties. How cool are these? Like watercolors. They're so cool. I kind of want to do like a Lord of the Rings themed set with this kind of stuff on for like one for the Shire and one for Mordor and things like that. I think that'd be quite cool. like in that kind of style. The other thing, as well as I was asked to call out, is GMK Just Beachy. This is a really, really nice set. If you like blues, this might be the set for you. There's 2 base kits as well. There's like a truncated base kit and a full base kit. So have a look at that if you're interested. UK ISO is available in the extensions kit, and it covers both of the alpha colorways that you can pick up. The novelties are all cool about spending the day at the beach with sandcastles and crabs and surfboards and all that kind of stuff. And when you're looking on a keyboard, it's just really nice. How cool are these little wave Alt GRs? They're just really, really cool. I'm a big, big fan of those. Such a nice looking set. So yeah, so please do consider picking up GMK Just Beachy. Yeah, and if you want to pick up a Busy Town Deathmat, this group buy does close at midnight tonight. I technically will be closed. Well, it'll probably be realistically 8 AM in the morning when I get to the workshop, but that does close. So if you want to pick up either of the colorways and either of the sizes, because of course there is the small versions as well of the Deathmats and the large versions, please do, because these are really, really cool. The beige one is a favorite of mine, so yeah, please do pick one of those up if you're interested. There's not much longer left on that group buy. In-stock stuff. What do I want to call out with in-stock? If you like Windows vintage stuff, Memphis 98 might get a buy from you, because it's a really, really cool old-fashioned Windows themed set with some really cool novelties. It's definitely worthwhile checking out. The Gateron lanes, these are like an Alps tactile or a silent click leaf. They feel like Salmon Alps, but in an MX switch. Please take a look at those. DCS Cafe and GMK Black on Gold as well. I don't understand how Black and Gold is in stock still. This is such a banger of a set. This is so good, and the gold novelties came out great. So please do take a look. Please do take a look. Right, okay. Shilling done. Let's catch back up with chat. There's a high rate of phone seizure at the border and checking for anti-Trump material on your phone. This makes it tricky space to be in if you're sharing views on the state of democracy in the USA, aren't a citizen, and want to travel there. Yeah, I can delete memes off my phone quite quickly. Higher on many alert lists in China now, which is impressive. Bald JD bans me. Nice. I've once heard that there is no price to be set on peace, and I've stuck to that. Doesn't matter how much money I'm losing on being principled, I go to sleep well at night, and there's really no price for that. Yeah, I just don't want to wake up and have no business left. That's kind of my worry. Because, or to have to let people go and things like that, which is, you know, it's something we've talked about here at the team, that it might happen, and it might be something we have to look at if revenue does drop significantly, or sales drop, or whatever else. It might be something we have to look at. So, yeah. So if you want to support us and you want to help the team out, just go do a buy. We appreciate it. It really is getting crazy. I'm well beyond the point of fed up with how rotten orange is making us look to the rest of the world. Dude, real talk. Real talk. We know it's the orange man. We know it's not the average general person from the US. We know it's not the average US citizen. Okay, we get that, and even it's even for the Trump supporters. Even if the Trump supporters knew the real truth of how it is, maybe they wouldn't feel the way that they do. So, we don't blame you guys. We understand that it's difficult, and you guys probably had similar thoughts about us when we had Thatcher, right? So, you know, what goes around comes around. I was going to buy Tribal, but I have to buy Razzle's new set. Insert both meme here. I've spoken to a number of constitutional and pro-democracy law academics over the past few months, and it's just overall really sad. It is. I don't have a board for Gurkawa, but I really want it. Dude, I don't yet, but I'm thinking of doing my Moon TKL, which is kind of in pieces, ready to be Cerakoted. I'm thinking of getting that done to match Gurkawa, just because it's really cool. Good luck getting the rights. Yeah, I would not get the rights to do a Lord of the Rings set, but I could speak to Drop, because Drop do have some rights for it, right? So, Lord of the Rings, don't give Kalane an erection, Jay. I mean, I'll have a chat with Drop. Even if I'm not allowed to design it or be part of the design team, perhaps I can influence them to do something like that. Because a key set of the map of Middle Earth would be just really cool if done in that watercolor style. I think it just worked really, really well on keycaps. You could do the whole map across keyboard and forget having legends. Just have all of the different areas of the Shire on the keyboard, like even like those topographic maps that Random Frank P did a few years ago as keycaps with novel keys. You could do something like that, but it'd just be the Middle Earth map. Any leaks you can give us about Windbreaker? Yes, GMK October. That's it. Road of the Lings. Razzles is lovely. I find it hilarious that it's the New Zealander, not the Aussie designer, making beach keycap sets. So, hey, New Zealand's got some nice beaches. I've seen pictures. The problem with beaches is that you need to buy all the child kits, €400. I wish we could make it cheaper. I really do. I wanted to make a Mines of Moria set with glowing metallic blue runes triple shot. That'd be cool. Gemma, hello my dear. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your garden's looking good. I liked the pictures earlier. You're all pushing me over the head. Kabu Mommy, do the buy, do the click, do the thing, click the button, send the money, right? You did hint last stream at a keycap set, Davina Papaya. Any info on that? No, I don't even know if we're going to be involved in it. I know it's happening, and I'm aware of it. I don't know if we're going to be involved in it. I like to think we will be, but I don't know for certain. I bought it and won some Guru-themed artisans in a raffle. No board in mind yet for it yet. Yeah, I think definitely the Moon TKL is going to be my choice. I have part of the board here because I was retrofitting a modern PCB for it. So this is the Moon TKL I had. This was one of the original Chinese ones from 2015 or 16. It has like accent pieces that sit in here, and it has the accent pieces for the moon. They're all metallic. So I'm going to have this done to fit Gurikawa, I think. What even would BOG go on? Black on gold. It looks really, really good on E-White. It looks really great on blackboards. And it looks really, really good on champagne-coloured keyboards from what I've seen. I've seen some really, really cool builds on polycarbonate as well. So yeah. Black and gold is very nice. It is. It's a black set of Civilizations. Yeah, only Civilizations didn't do the golden colour because they didn't have the metallic textures back then. The fact there is still people here that support this crazy bullshit, that's really scary, to be honest. I think it'll come good in time. I think it just needs time. Apparently there were enough Trump supporters, maybe. I asked about this before. Is there any progress on GMK Midnight Rainbow Round 2? Given the US is trying to erase folks, it feels like visibility is all the more meaningful. Yeah, so Kabamumi, GMK Midnight Rainbow Round 2 is going to happen. I am going to do it as a private individual, probably not necessarily through PT, and we're going to have a limited time form to fill out to get one of the slots. We're going to do it at the barest MOQ, so it's going to be quite expensive. We're going to do 150 MOQ. I'm going to send out a form on the Discord and to people who have expressed interest. From the people who fill out the form over like a 48-hour period, I will pick 150. They will get the opportunity to buy, and then they'll get the set once the set ships, and that's it. We're going to kind of like do a really truncated version of it. I don't think the market is there big enough if we did it as a traditional group buy. I think if we do it with different vendors, it'll dilute the opportunity to produce the set. I want to guarantee and underwrite it myself, so I know it's going to get made. So yeah, so that's the current plan. I don't have a date for that yet, but I'm thinking that's probably going to be late September, early October. So yeah. GMK Menace? Maybe. Davina Papaya's here. I endorse this comment. This is the way. I thought the drop could do so much more with the Lord of the Rings license. Yeah, they could. Absolutely. Get the last Loki 65. It will work super well for the new set. Any leaks on GMK Chocolatier? I don't know where that's up to. I'm sorry, I can't tell you any more on that at the minute. I do have some stuff I need to do for Zambamon, so perhaps we'll have a chat after we've sorted that out. I had my first order delivered from you the other day to the US. Great packaging and appreciate the stickers. We'll definitely continue to support. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, James. I hope you enjoy the stuff. Like we try and ship to the US almost every day, so that's really, really common for us to do. Yeah. I'm good bit knackered. Got some ribs to cook tomorrow. Nice. Yes, Jimma, send me some pictures because your little garden setup looks really good. GMK Windbreaker is in October. If so, I will have to delay Divina Papaya. Yeah, GMK Windbreaker is October. I can't share the date just yet. I know we need to have a conversation this week anyway, Manu, so maybe we can talk about it then, and I'll just check in with the other vendors, make sure they're all on board too, because they've kind of set the date, not me, even though I'm lead vendor, because it was more about their schedules than mine. Moon was so good. Shame the second run turned out bad. Dude, I lost 2 boards in the second run. Yeah, I got this one off a friend after the second run had disappeared and Oki had gone. So, yeah. On a red board as well. I haven't seen it on a red board, but I'll take your word for it. I think that was related to black on gold. Black and gold is currently on my black Zoom 75 with the gold chamfer. Look classy AF. I bet it does. I think the use of US tariffs, once Bush started them in 2002 with steel, let the cat out of the bag, allowing following presidents to use it as a tool to hit other nations from Obama, Biden, and Trump going wild with it. Maybe. I think the issue with tariffs is that, do you know what? The tariffs themselves there's no issue with. What the issue is with is the fact that you're changing the status quo and you're telling people you will now have to pay 20 to 50% more for a product than what you're used to, even under the value threshold that we used to have. It's basically changing the goalposts on US citizens, and it's saying, we know that you are consumers. We want you to be the biggest consumer brand, biggest consumer market in the world, supporting brands from all over the world. But if you order from outside of the country, we'll wrap you on the knuckles now. And it's kind of like a change in tact, and that's what's so jarring about tariffs. It's not because other countries have their equivalent. Like we have VAT here in the UK, which often get called import duties. There is a duty as well, which is similar to a tariff in some respects, but it's kind of like a little bit different as well. But ultimately, they're all sales tax on imported goods. That's what they are. That's what they boil down to. And we've had that in the UK for a long time. The rules kind of changed a little bit at Brexit, but not massively so. And but it's really clear, and people expect it, and people understand it. What you're telling US customers is like, you've had for so long, you've had this opportunity to import things basically just at the cost that you're paying them, and now the US government's gone, ooh, I want a piece of that pie, I want a little bit of that money, give daddy some money. And it's kind of fallen a bit flat, because then you've got the orange man telling people that don't worry, you won't be paying for this, the company selling you the products will pay for the tariffs. It's like, well, the only way that's going to happen is if they put the prices up, or if they collect it at checkout, or if not, you're going to pay it on import and get the bill from the courier service, right? So it's the change in tax, and because it's so dramatically sharp, because you're losing that 800 de minimis, it's kind of crazy. What they should have done is just reduce the de minimis over the time if they wanted to do this. What they should have done is said, right, okay, for the next year, it's not $800 anymore. It's now $600. At the end of that year, they said, right, it's not $600 anymore. It's now $400. And then at the end of year 3, they could have said, right, it's not $400 now. It's any import. And over time, people would have got used to it. They'd understand what the tariffs are. They would understand how they work, how the percentages work. It would have been easier. What about doing it in DCS, Midnight Rainbow? Too expensive because of all the colours. Yeah. Wait, it has priority 100%. Let's have a chat, man. Let's have a chat. We can figure something out. What's on sale at the moment that you aren't super surprised hasn't sold because it's amazing? What's on sale at the moment that hasn't sold which I'm super surprised at? Hold on, let's take a look. Let's do this together. Let's answer this question together. What's on sale at the moment that I'm surprised hasn't sold? The Allura 65s I'm surprised, because 30% off the Allura 65s is like, it's almost 120 quid off, right? Let's figure out. Let's add that to cart. How much, instead of being 395, it's 276.50. So it's over 100 quid cheaper. It's 120 quid cheaper, give or take. That's kind of like a huge drop. That's massive. That's absolutely huge. I don't understand how those haven't sold. Admittedly, there's only a few left, so maybe they have. What else is in stock? Do you know what else there is in stock that I'm surprised hasn't sold on sale? Oh, also the JOG keycaps. They're only 50 quid already, and you get 30% off them, so you get another 15 quid off that. So you're getting for 35 quid. That's an absolute bargain. That's less than it costs to produce them. Surprised on the JOG as well. But the other one that I'm really surprised at is Extended 2048, because there's so many people in the hobby that complain that Mac keycap sets don't exist, and then you have like this base kit available at 30% off in 2 colorways. You got the black and white and the white and black. Both in stock and both with 30% off. What do they come out at? Oh wait, I've got too much stuff in my cart here. Hold on. Let's remove all this stuff so we can see. Oh look, you even get EPB TGO base kits were 25 quid. They're now £17.50, including VAT. That's £14.50 excluding VAT for a full base kit of a keycap set, and it's EPBT. Yeah. So the fact that these become 105 quid, 86 quid excluding VAT, is kind of unbelievable. It's kind of unbelievable. Like, and yeah, I thought that would generate significantly more interest than it has done. But yeah, that's what I'd go with for now. We'll probably work at a smaller scale like some previous DCS sets. Maybe, Zaba, maybe. I want to do it with GMK. We could maybe do a DCS set, but it would be a very truncated TKL set, very similar to Pepper Bait's kind of base kit, but with UK ISO, if we did do that. Like a scaled back TKL set. Yeah, exactly like that, yeah. Piney, hey man, good to see you. Like them both, would consider for a PC board for sure. Nice. Not really. Originally was a mix of Windbreaker and Pastel Goth, but after some people told me it was close to Pepper Bait, I asked Faye and she was right. Cool. Yeah, Faye's nice. Faye's nice. I haven't spoken to her for a while, but she is nice. A lot of countries have crazy tariffs and import taxes. Brazil, for example. Yeah, we have a lot of customers who order to Brazil, and a lot of South American countries are really weird on imports. And what people have is they're Brazilian customers, but they have certain PO boxes that they have things shipped to, and then they ship them from there to Brazil. And we did have one customer from Argentina who I was talking to over the weekend, and they're only allowed 5 personal import shipments a year. That's it. They can only import 5 packages a year, which is bizarre when you think about it. Zosko, hey man, good to see you. Nailed it on the head about tariffs, Jay. Definitely changing the goalpost on us hugely. Honestly, I wouldn't have an issue with them if they weren't so steep and the lying about how it won't affect us. I think it's the way it's been messaged, right? I get that the government wants, the US government wants to increase revenue from imports because it's something that they're not seeing a benefit to. I kind of get it. I kind of understand it. I think how you implement a tax that's going to affect that many people at that kind of scale is really important, because you are changing the culture of importing goods, and that should be managed in a really open, transparent way that shows the benefits of what's going to happen. And it's not just saying the bit that I said before about reducing it over time. It's also about showing what that money's being used for. It's like, we've generated X amount and we've used it on Y. You know, we've used it to combat homelessness or drug abuse or whatever that, you know, we've given it to all to children in need or whatever it is. You need to be communicating that as well. If they didn't touch the de minimis, most people wouldn't even register the tariffs. Feels like a shoot your own foot thing. Yeah, get it. Empty New Dolce. Yeah, Dolce is in stock as well. Empty New Dolce. It's been in stock a long time because we bought all of it. GOG is great. People should go buy it. I know I'm biased because I designed it, but it's and had it made. But JCS make good keycaps, like really good for the price point, and it's probably the best in-stock beige set on the market right now. Petition to replace Tasty Tasty. Replace it with what? So this is what Dave suggested we replace Tasty Tasty with. Oh wait, yeah, with that, yeah. But like, it's kind of fallen a bit flat because then give Daddy some money, and it's kind of fallen a bit flat because then give Daddy some money. Yeah, maybe. It's a banger of a set. Love mine. Great new profile in the classic colorway. Can't go wrong. Absolutely. You like me because of my massive charisma, don't lie. Yeah. Almost bought extended but went for Classica instead. I don't think we have Classica in stock anymore. Makes it a bit hard to see the discounts without putting them into the cart. I personally would be hesitant to put something into my cart and then look at the price, or they don't even see it. Unfortunately, that's just a Shopify limitation. To put a bulk number of products on sale, we would have to do it where it shows the price difference. I would have to go into every single product individually and manually add the discount, and then not have one that added at cart. Instead, what we do is we have a discount that's added at cart. So yeah, I mean, people have been. We've had like, I mean, I can tell you the number. Give me a second. Discounts. You know, just today alone, we've had over 50 people use the 30% off discount just today alone. So there's a lot of people taking advantage of it. I get that you can't see the discount until you put it into cart. It's just a limitation of Shopify, unless I went into every single product and put the discount on, and then went into every single product and took the discount off. And I just, like, I don't have the staff for that. I don't have the time for that. It would be probably 30 or 40 hours of work to do that. So yeah. I got accused today of factual lying by a certain streamer because saying DCS charges an extra $2,500 for under 200 sets custom colors. Be careful, Jay. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken with Melissa on the prices, and if you're having custom colors at really small runs, they do charge a premium. Yeah, I don't know if it's $2,500. I can't remember, but it wouldn't surprise me. Ayman TMT says, Defo going to be ordering from you right now. Love what you stand for. I'm based out of Dubai. Dude, hey man, good to see you. We ship to Dubai a lot since Sandkeys, who are based in the UAE, shut down. We've seen quite a big uptick to Dubai and areas like that. I think it's pretty cheap now with FedEx as well. Not FedEx, DHL, because we're kind of in the process of testing DHL out as a potential replacement for UPS. So yeah, I think it's significantly cheaper now. The only way tariffs make sense is a matter of national security in the event of the Taiwan invasion. We don't want to be so dependent on China, but this admin has made enemies of everyone and taken a sledgehammer to the entire world. Okay, that's probably a little bit too deep for me to get into on stream, but yeah. That could be a good replacement. At least needs to be added. Do it. I will think about it. I will. If you all go buy something right now in the store, I'll do it. But you all have to buy something. I want to see how many viewers have we got. 130. I forget 130 orders before the end of the stream. I'll do it. I'm joking. Maybe we could add it though. I'll see if I can strip the sound out of it, or if someone wants to strip the sound out of it and send me the little file, I'll upload it and put it in. Maybe we'll put it in for bits or something. I don't even know what the bits sound is. What do we play for bits?
Ooh, don't mind if I do.
There you go. Don't mind if I do. What about tips?
Ooh, very nice.
Very nice. And then, of course, it's tasty for subscriptions.
Tasty.
Do we have a different one for follows?
Incredible.
There you go. Those are the ones we have. So, yeah, maybe we could change it for bits or something like that. Not that anyone ever drops bits, but we could put it in there for bits, maybe. Okay, right. Okay, I think I've talked about pretty much everything on the website. Do I have anything else to tell you about? Yeah, coffee. Go look at coffee. If you're interested in coffee, pick some of our coffee up, and also take a look at our social media, because now we have a TikTok, and we have, oh look, we've got 3,500 views nearly on Roll for Caffeine today. So this is today's Roll for Caffeine.
Good morning and welcome to Roll for Caffeine episode 2.
If you haven't seen this, it's basically Dungeons and Dragons character creation but for coffee, and we're going to do one of these every working day. And effectively, we roll dice down this tower to decide what coffee we're going to have. And then I make the coffee. There's me making the coffee just in the bottom of the workshop. And this particular one, well, I don't know if my face is...
Okay, very rich, very earthy. Brings out the flavour of the coffee. It's weird. There's 2 textures, not just the milk. There's 3 textures with the milk.
So for this one, we had a pour over with an espresso shot on top, and you could feel like a textural delineation in your mouth of the two until I give it a really good mix. Anyway, go take a look at it. Tomorrow's is quite good because it was terrible. and you won't believe what the texture was like of the coffee that's going to be on Roll for Caffeine tomorrow, because I recorded it just before streaming here now. So yeah, I've not seen Roll for Sandwich, but the one that inspired me was Roll for Soda. I don't know if you've seen that. It's by Pick Me Up Zach, but that was the one that I've seen. And then I've also seen, since I started looking for these, I've seen Roll for Salad and now Roll for Caffeine. But I wasn't aware of Roll for Sandwich. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. I'm going to laser cut some tiles for the decisions later on, rather than using the laminated cards. And maybe me and Crispies have got an idea for something else coming in that kind of way as well. Is there a way on your website to filter out which base kits are available on sale? Amen. Unfortunately not. Shopify doesn't allow us to have a contextual meta tag that changes based on stock level. And I am too idiotic to be able to write that code myself. But no, there isn't one at the moment. There isn't even a good plugin that I found that does it. Unless you don't have child kit, unless you have an individual listing for the base kit, an individual listing for the child kits, I can't find a way to do it. So yeah, Roll for Salad is depressing. You will think that the roll for tomorrow, when I upload Roll for Caffeine episode 3, you will think it's either horrific, diabolical, or amazing. You will pick one of those 3 adjectives to describe it: horrific, diabolical, or amazing, depending on how much discomfort you like seeing people in. So yeah. What's a child kit, Jay? So if you have a base kit that's got like all of your TKL and everything else, and then you might have the numpad as a separate kit that you have to buy separately, that would be a child kit. So you have the master. You can't say that. A long time ago we would have called them master kits and slave kits, like when you had a master hard drive and a slave hard drive. And then it became a parent and child kit. So effectively base kit's a parent kit, and all of the little kits that go alongside it that are $20, $30, whatever, those are the child kits. So Nordic UK kits, spacebar kits, numpad kits, extensions kits, 40s kits, Colvrat kits. Those are all the child kits that we call them these days. So yeah. Totally fine. Just being lazy at 12 a.m. here. Yeah, sorry, dude. Like, I wish I could make a way of doing it, but it would mean fundamentally changing how we list products on the stores. The filters we have there today, we used to have filters on the website a couple of years ago, and we've got a few on there right now. But I'll just show you this. So if you go onto the website and you click on, let's say, in-stock keycaps. The filters that you see on this left-hand side, we used to have some here historically, and I basically coded those myself about 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, when we started the website. And they worked for a long time until all of a sudden Shopify made a change and removed the ability to add metadata through tags and then filters through tags from the back end. So you couldn't use tags to create filters unless you wanted to pay for software. So I just removed them at the time, figured I'd come up with another solution later on. And then about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, Shopify implemented what they called metadata. And it was really complex, and it's not particularly well implemented, if I'm completely honest. And for the longest time, you couldn't then take metadata and create a filter from it. You could only use it for analytics. Now they have changed it. So about almost 1 year ago now, we put these filters in. Maybe not quite 1 year ago, maybe 10 months ago. So we managed to convert all of the metadata that we had historically had and the new metadata that we were beginning to collect. And we went through a massive exercise of going through all of the in-stock products we have, which is thousands, and adding metadata to them. There's a couple that have had incorrect entries just because of so much data entry. We're going to make mistakes. And then we were able to create some filters around metadata. But Shopify changed so much in the back end and so constantly that it's a real difficulty to take advantage of some of the new features if you've got it built in a different way. And then all of a sudden they turn off the different way and you have no choice but to go to their new way of doing it. And it's never fully documented, and it's never fully clear what's going to be impacted, and it's never quite clear when it's going to impact you either. So, yeah. Anyway, we have filters on the website. I don't have a good one for selecting base kits in and out of stock. The only way I've tried to do it with code was to pick out what the first base kit was, and then say that if that's still in stock, show base kit available. But it doesn't work for them when we have like 2 base kits and we have like a full size and a TKL base, or 2 different colored base kits, or if the base kit isn't the first listed, it doesn't work then. So yeah, it's difficult. That's the ultimate. I love how well you explain that. Thank you, Jay. You're welcome, Sean. You're welcome. Going to spring up some TP and Alex Soto's granites to lighter weight and put them in my F1 with a PP plate. We wanted to see how they do with polypropylene since they were really nice on alum in the F1. Yeah, aluminium in the F1 is chef's kiss. I think it's the best plate choice for the F1. I have mine built with aluminium, and I have a carbon fiber one somewhere. But even though I'm a carbon fiber, freak, it's still better is that board. You might be able to do something slightly more custom than that. Okay, cool. Which shouldn't change when Shopify does. The only thing then is if it's something that's custom in code and they change how themes work, that breaks stuff as well. Because they did this last year, and we had the current version of the site in development for a long time during 2024. And then around August, September time, I can't remember the exact point, Shopify pushed an update out with no notification that it was coming or no real understanding of what was going to happen. And it broke the way that I'd built the custom search bar on the old version of the site. And it broke it in a way that you were not able to search for things and you weren't able to add anything to cart. So I had to push the current version of the website live, even though it wasn't finished, at pace. And I think within 3 hours of realizing the issue, I had it pushed live and out. And if I hadn't have had that there, I don't know what we would have done. Like, if we hadn't had something that was almost complete, I don't know what we would have done. There were still things like fonts were wrong and colors were wrong and layouts were slightly wrong and some pages weren't doing things quite right. But ultimately, the site is where it needs to be right now. But they do change structures in the back end that change how themes are made or how themes are integrated into the site. And a lot of custom code that you run on the website has to run within inside the theme, because Shopify is weird and strange like that. And a lot of third-party apps actually have code snippets that you need to paste into the theme's code, to make sure it works correctly. So yeah, it's difficult. Polypropylene is the best plate. Carbon fiber is probably my favorite overall, followed by POM. I really like a good POM plate. But yeah, Shopify does Shopify things, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, there's lots of stuff in stock right now. Lots of stuff in stock. I wish we could keep everything in stock, but we can't. But yeah, go do a buy, guys. Go do a buy. It reminds me, I need to email you and get a PP plate added to my order of Manta. Yeah, you've got a week or so left yet, Reed, so don't worry. You don't have to rush that email. But if you send it over soon, we'll get that sorted for you. Right, okay. I think we've talked for about an hour now. I think I've covered everything I needed to cover. Website sales on. Hyperbage is on its way to PT. The shipment is on its way to PT. We're closed on Monday. We'll be shipping on Tuesday. Tariffs. Roll for caffeine on Jay's Roastery, our coffee company. Yeah, I think that's everything. Cool. Missed GMK travel last week, so got one today. Just one left over in stock now. Nice. Do you know the status on Beta R2? It's still in manufacturing. GMK R6 Siege Winner Circle. No update from GMK on that one. I'll reach out to them this week, Dynamics, and see. Because we did ask to stock it, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Pepper bait's so nice. Yeah, and of course I did the UK ISO kits for it as well. So if you are someone who owns it in the UK and you want a UK ISO kit, I had UK ISO kits made for Pepper bait. So yeah, they exist now. So there you go. Beta gonna be sent after Hyperbage. Hyperbage is already on the way, Niku. I don't know when Beta is gonna be shipped. I as far as I know, it's still in manufacturing. That gold on white peak. What was that for? Gold on white? Not sure what you mean. Use chopstick. Does Pepper not have a numpad? No, no. It has the keys that are here. Let's. I'll show you. It has the keys that are here. How do I turn that off? That's so TKL. You have it ANSI or ISO now. And then you have a few other modifier keys. Hold on. And that's it. So you have a 6.25U spacebar and a 6.25U bottom row, an F13, a couple of 40s keys, a couple of additional shift keys, so like instead of splitting shift, the ISO keys, and that's kind of it. A stepped control instead of stepped caps, which I actually use that as control. So, yeah, that's literally the whole thing. And that's got the UK ISO keys in it, and those didn't come with it. I had those made separately later on to match the set. So yeah, that's all you get with Pepperbait. There is not much to it, but it is a stunningly good set. So yeah, I should really put that in a tub. Need a 6U Pepperbait spacebar. Unfortunately, Signature Plastics don't have any more of that particular yellow left. So, because when I was having the ISO kits made, the keys are in purple and yellow. So the @ symbol, for example, sits here, and it replaces. Oh, well, actually, it would sit there, and it would replace that key, and then you would have another yellow key to the side of it. Which would be the hash key, and then your ISO enter would sit there. So you'd have basically this structure. So as you can see, those two keys should technically be yellow, but they only had enough to do the legends in yellow for these 3 keys for me, and we decided to do them in purple to match the enter and kind of merge in with the shift a little bit. That was the only way we could get UK ISO made for it, because there wasn't enough yellow resin left. So yeah, that's just the way it is for Signature Plastics in a minute. I was only making 5 of these, so if you were going to like agree to make like 100 space they'd probably buy the resin for you. But I only made 5 of them, and I've given 1 away. No one else has claimed the other 3. I've kept 1, so there's 3 left. You like how much pink pepper is? It's really nice. It's really nice. Yeah, it's only got 6.25, yeah, and 7, yeah. Cool. Okay, right. Was that very expensive? No, I mean, I don't think so. I can't remember when Faye ran the group buy, but I don't think it was expensive. To get 5 space bars. Oh, it was 5 UK ISO kits. I think it was a few $100s for the 5 UK ISO kits. Yeah, so I'm just giving them away for free. You just cover postage. If you've got a set of Pepperbait and you want the UK ISO keys, all you need to do is just send me a timestamp to show you've got it, because I don't want people claiming these and then selling them. And yeah, I'll send it to you for free. Just cover shipping cost. So we sent 1 to France, and no one in the UK has asked for 1 yet, apart from me. So I'm pretty sure other people in the UK do have Pepperbait, but yeah. I think if you're going to do 100 space bars, it will probably be $500 or $600. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to finish this coffee, and then we'll get on to building the Oblique. How about $700 dynamics? I'm trying to buy a house, so I need money. If you want the biggest challenge I'm going to have in the next few weeks is getting a mortgage without having income is really hard. So I say I don't have an income. I don't get any money from PT. But I do have savings and investments from when I used to work at a bank years ago. I haven't worked there for 5 years. I've had no income for the past 5 years. But I do have like it's small income from investments, and trying to use that to justify a mortgage. They're like, no, we can't trust that. What if your investments go down, sir? It's like, well, yeah, but here's a track record over the last 8 years. They're not going down. They're going up, like every year, consistently. Like that income has remained pretty consistent for, nearly 8 years. And they're like, well, we're not so sure. So like, I know how much I can afford to borrow, like realistically. I want to borrow probably half of that. And they're like, maybe. Here's a tentative agreement in principle. And it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. Do you take kidneys? No, just cold hard cash. Have you tried asking them very nicely? Yeah, I'm very polite. Typo on the Gator on lanes. Thought I'd hate them, but they're super interesting. They're fun, right? They're fun. They're really fun. Keyboards as collateral for mortgage. Just show at the bank with all of them and showcase them alongside a ballpark. Yeah, clearly a drug dealer. Nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. What do you mean you don't get a salary from PT? I don't get paid. Like I don't get, like, yeah, like, I don't get paid. I don't get dividends. I don't take money out of the company for myself. Yeah, banks are outdated. Yeah. So we need to put. So where we're at is we found a house we like. And we've kind of done this the wrong way, because realistically what we should be doing is putting our house up for sale, accepting an offer on our house, and then finding a house to buy. We've kind of done it the wrong way round. I need to put my house up for sale in the next week or two. And we've found a house we like that we're going to try and put an offer in this week, and then tell them that we haven't got our house up for sale yet, which they're probably going to say no to. And then we have the agreement in principle to be able to buy the house, but we have to obviously sell our house to be able to use the equity from it to be able to buy the next one. So it's kind of like a difficult catch-22 situation we're in right now. So next steps for me is to spend a couple of hours the next week getting our house ready to put up for sale, so it's ready for some pictures. I've got to do some slight things like remove some shelves, patch some holes, paint some walls, maybe 10 hours of work. So I'm going to get that all done this week. Get the estate agents out towards the back end of the week to take the photos and then list it. Because our house was a new build when we built it, we also have to buy the freehold, which I kind of got going on as well, but we won't be able to complete until that's done and we can give the freehold to the new buyer. So that's something else to sort out. And then they need to find a solicitor. I do have a mortgage advisor. I needed a quick agreement in principle so we can actually place an offer on the house that we like, but the mortgage advisor will probably be able to get us better agreement in principle next couple of weeks anyway, so I just needed something quick, so we just went with my current bank to get that. And yeah, luckily the house we want to buy is not in a chain, but we'll see. We'll see. Like, I hope my wife has got her heart dead set on this house now, so hopefully we'll figure it out. Hopefully. Speaking of Gator on switches, any idea when you're likely to get the Type R restock? No, Manu, do you have a date on that yet? Jay doesn't get paid, I don't get laid. Who has it worse? Dude, you're a good-looking man. I'm sure you can sort that out. Lots of financial institutions are looking very careful right now. Economy ain't looking great. It's true. Jay sends us packages of dopamine. It's not that different to a drug dealer. Please don't be telling people this. I need to find a job. That's what I need to do. I need to get a job that pays me some money. I want to get some, although I am tempering my expectations to the marketing. I think saying they feel like Orange Alps was a mistake, as I highly doubt anything like SKCM Alps still very the lanes are actually pretty close to them. This one doesn't have a spring in it, but they are pretty close to Alps. As an Alps fanatic, Rob, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I tell you what, Rob, as we are friends, if you buy them from PT and you tell me that they don't feel like Alps switches, I'd say salmons rather than oranges. If you tell me they don't feel like Alps, I will refund you. There you go. You can keep the switches and I'd refund you. Kitchen or no kitchen? No kitchen. No, sorry, it was the one with the kitchen. It wasn't the one without a kitchen. Yeah. What if Belfast is the issue? House will be free when you find bags of white powder in the drywall. Haha, if only. Type R should be shipping next week. Excellent. So a couple of weeks, guys. Money is overrated. Yeah, I mean, like to facilitate the house purchase, I'm also going to be, because the house will need some work, and the plan is to try and move the workshop from here to there if we do buy it. The other thing I'll need to do is sell a couple of cars from the car collection, which I've been putting off for a long time now. And I'll probably be selling a lot of my keyboard collection as well in the next couple of months, just to try and give us some moving money and cover solicitors' fees and estate agents' fees and things like that as well. So, yeah. Work for the bank that you want to get a loan from, then write yourself a loan with 0% interest. I did used to work for a bank, but not in kind of that kind of stuff. I used to work in the IT side. Mr. J, getting my first Moons watch this week, as well as looking for yours. You can replace the battery, right? I know they can't be serviced. Pass. I've never had one run out of battery. I don't believe so, but I think the battery's going to last like a good 10 years. Sounds like a deal. I wouldn't want the refund either way, but I'll definitely order them from you on Tuesday when my next pay. No worries, dude. Take care, man. I'll look out for your order. Mr. J helped me pick my first one earlier this month. I'm wearing it now. He said it make my eyes look pretty. I said it matched your skin tone, not your eyes. So garage sale in PTHQ for J boards coming in Q4. Yeah, it's TBC. I think we're going to do it. I don't know if you saw Hector's auction, but I think I'm going to steal Chris's software from that, and we'll just do them on like an auction. I'll probably do like 10 or 15 a week until we get through like a couple hundred boards, something like that. Then no one's like missing out on stuff because they can't buy multiple boards over. Like they can like bid on one a week or something. Because I don't want to make it so that people can't get the stuff out of my collection they want. And it's it'll be good to kind of like get the boards into people's hands that want to use them. As much as I love this Cloudline, which is the Veracity Steel edition, I think this is going to be one to go as well. And then of course there'll be some other boards too, such as my Athena board, the one that's been hand engraved, and I'm probably only going to keep 10 or 12 boards out of about 400. So yeah, lots going to be available. If anyone wants to pick something up they've seen, like I know someone mentioned a while ago that they wanted the Hyper 7 keycaps from my Hyper 7 build. If anyone still wants that kind of thing, like, let me know. Yeah. See you later, bulbs. The fear of buying something in round 1, then found something even better in round 3. Maybe. Jay's working me like a dog. Dude, that's not true. That's not true. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, Dynamics, to destroy the watches, but I'm pretty sure you can update the batteries in them. I don't know how, but I'm sure you can. Which top 5 are you for sure never selling? Project Nixie, the original JO1. Those two will stay forever in my collection, because first board I designed and one of my all-time favorite boards. There's a couple of others that I would probably never get rid of as well. Some that I can't mention because they've never seen the light of day, and I'll probably keep a Keymax as well. So yeah. The TGR Koala is a keep. Yeah, no one would want it anyway because it's got the Prototypist logo etched into it, so that's one I'd keep. Yeah. But there's a lot of vintage boards. There's a lot of there's over 250 GMK sets over here as well that'll be there as well. So yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Right. Okay. Let's actually do some keyboard content. Because yeah, I do need to raise some money to buy the house. Like, it's sad, but it's gonna have to happen. But let's build an Oblique. Just do DCS and GMK Windbreaker rerun on both for cash grab, to be honest. So I mean, the thing is, right? Like I know we are going to do GMK Windbreaker. It's going to run in October. Realistically, if we run GMK Windbreaker, the UK is probably going to sell at most 40 or 50 sets. Let's say it sells 50 sets, and PT makes about 10 quid a base kit if we're lucky, about 10% profit if we're lucky. That's 500 quid. No, 5,000 quid. It's not even the salary. You know. No, it's 500 quid. It's 500 quid. I don't know where I was getting 5,000 from. It's 500 pounds. Like, that's not even the salary bill for the month. Like, it's not even a quarter of the salary bill for the month. So, you know, unless we were the only vendor for something worldwide, we're never going to do numbers that are going to be... Yeah, it's 500. Yeah, I was right the first time. Yeah. So yeah, like, even then, it's one of those things. I'm going to sell some of my personal stuff because my wife wants to move house and we found a house that we like. So yeah. Yeah, so we want to do that. Where are you making the most profit? Do you want the truth? Most things don't make much profit in keyboards. Most of the stuff we sell is probably 10% at best, maybe 12 or 15% on some keyboard projects. But there's never massive margins, not with VAT and taxes here in the UK, unfortunately. And rather than... And the other thing as well is we're going to lose revenue because of the whole de minimis stuff in the US. But anyway, that's not my money. That's PT's money. That's PT's money. So even if I run Windbreak and we were the only vendor for it and we sold 1,000 sets a day or whatever, that doesn't affect me buying a mortgage or a house or anything like that because I don't take that money. I don't get that money. It doesn't give me an income. So yeah. They'll be sold on our Discord server mostly, but yeah, they'll be sold online. You can buy stuff at our workshop though, Amen, if you want to come to Keyboards and Coffee, which we do every Thursday. So you can come to this workshop, you can have a really nice coffee. I will make you one at our coffee machine. We've got we've got an ACS Bostock high-end dual lever coffee machine. It's incredible and I love it to bits. So yeah, if you want to swing by one Thursday, we can do that. PT should move to Jersey. Well, I mean, the aim of the game for PT now is cost cutting, saving money wherever we can. So it's things like reducing outgoings, and one of the big ones that we do is rent. Rent is £6,000 a month, which is a lot of money here for the workshop. 3 years ago it was fine because during 3 years ago we were selling enough product to keep that going almost indefinitely. Now that's changed, and the market has changed, and the profit margins have dropped significantly as well as everything has gone up. We can't increase prices because it would stop people buying. So the big thing that we need to do is we need to find a workshop that's A, smaller, and B, cheaper. And the best way we can think of doing that is when my wife and I move, is to buy a house that has a barn or similar and move the workshop into that. That's going to save a massive amount of money because then storage effectively becomes free for the company. So yeah, that's kind of like where we're looking at. But that's a year away at best because we're trapped into a contract. So yeah, it's difficult. Can you serve the coffee and a keyboard? Sure, if you want me to. Are you doing it as an auction like hectares, or are you setting prices? So what I want to do is I want to do it as an auction, Alvi, and then if we hit my target for each product, let's say I'm selling a keyboard, and I'm going to put something akin to a reserve price on it. We'll still sell it for less if it doesn't get there. Let's say we're selling a keyboard. Let's say it's a JL1, and I put £300 as not the reserve, but kind of like, let's call it reserve price. People can bid up to £300. As soon as it hits the £300, anything above that will go to charity. Anything above that, the first £300 will then go to me because it's my product and it's my board and it's my thing that I'm selling. Anything above the £300 mark on that particular one would then go to charity, and that number is going to change. Like some key sets that might be 100 quid, some key sets it might be 50 quid, depending on where I set that limit to. But then anything we raise over and above will go to charity, probably Macmillan Cancer Support, and I will just take what I think I due, whatever I paid for the product or whatever I've invested in it or whatever the market value is today. And if it goes above that, then yeah, we'll donate that to charity. So I think we're going to set prices. We will sell below the prices if there's fewer bids on something. But if people bid over the reserve price, then that just means there's money generated for charity. We'll make it public. We'll make that completely public. So you'll know, like if I've set 300 quid, it'll say reserve is 300 quid, anything above that. So if you went 330 quid, Albi, for that board, you would then be able to know that 300 quid was coming to me and 30 quid was going to go to charity. And then once it's all done, you'll see the end results, and I'll share the full amount generated, and I'll show the proof of sending it off to the charity. So yeah. Will this bidding be online? Yeah, it'll be like an online thing. Yeah. I need to figure all the details out with Crispies, but it's something that we're looking at. Can you diversify? Gaming mice or something? So we are diversifying. I've now got a coffee company. We're looking at doing some EDC stuff. We are going to do more things. It's just a case of, yeah, things to do. You've heard of a shoe, and how about a keyboardy? Absolutely. Very nice. I like that. Yeah, like I need to generate some cash for my own stuff, but I also want to make some money for charity. So yeah, I think that's gonna be how we do it. Erectile dysfunction to control. No, everyday carry. What are we building today? Yeah, let's get on to building something. We're building the Oblique. As you can see here, it comes in this really nice shaped carry case, which has got all sorts of little angles, and you'll see why in a second when we show the board. Inside the carry case, we have the board itself. I have this lovely pink version, which is really nice, and you'll see here it's got all of these kind of angled edges, this cherry style front lip with angled corners. Then on the base we've got this beautiful patinaed coppery base, and again all of these fantastic angles. Look here, you've got an angle here. This is absolutely beautiful. So cool. Insane pink. It's such a good pink, right? Extra delicious crisps. Yeah. This might suit GMK Gurakawa. It might do, yeah. So as well as the keyboard, which you'll see has got Ball's logo here. That's probably difficult to see on the camera. And it's all got really nice cutouts inside. This goes on sale soon, I think. I don't know if Manu's still there, but he'll be able to share the dates. I don't actually have a set of Darling. I gave my set of Darling away, Manu. That patina. It's nice, right? Oh my god. I'm so nostalgic for the COVID time of the hobby. Things were already trending downwards, and then this de minimis end in the US sucks, man. Liv, yeah, like it's really tough right now in the keyboard hobby, especially for consumers. So I feel you. I do feel you. So we do have a solder PCB, and we've got an alu plate and a CF plate.
Tasty, tasty.
So the first thing we're going to do, Mango Keeps, thank you so much for the raid. We're just about to build an Oblique keyboard kit. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a poll to see whether you want to see us using a CF plate or an alu plate. I'm not sure if any mods are watching, so I'll grab this poll and get it ready. New poll.
Incredible.
Okay. So the first poll is live. You guys can pick which plate you want to see on the build today. Whether you want to see a carbon fiber build or whether you want to see an aluminum build. Aluminium build. Why did I say aluminum? That's the American way. Mango removes my keycaps if I don't raid. What? What? How rude. Spanish chorizo revered patina looks insane. It does look really good. It does look really good. Hey guys, thank you for everyone that came across from Mango Keeps raid. I appreciate you all. Where is the dinner plate option? That's only if you come to PTHQ. You want to see lanes on carbon fiber? So lanes are not one of the switches that I have picked for today. Actually, we will be doing a lanes build, but it's not going to be in this board. But this is the first poll. We'll see what you guys come up with. I want to know what switches Manu Keeps thinks we're going to use today, because we do have another poll coming, and these are the switches. So we'll see what he thinks. But we'll get to that in a second. Whilst you guys are voting on that, I'm just going to install the feet on the bottom of the board. Cherry blacks. Most likely, right? I don't have any cherry blacks. You'll see in a moment, Manu. You'll see in a moment. What are those? Not MX blacks. Absolutely, they're not. I don't have any MX blacks at the minute. Feel like we need a browns option. You were supposed to be getting me the unlubed cherry blacks, Manu. I think. Rigging is always loud. Manufacturer cooked. Manu is not very based. First Darling, now X Blacks. Manu the keyboard peasant. The bag's under my eyes, Colleen, is that what you mean? Nothing wrong with a nice brown switch. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the light pipes ready. I think that's what these are. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be light pipes, right? Pretty sure these are supposed to be light pipes, but maybe not. Maybe I'm missing out what they are. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Missed opportunity. Is Oblique 60? Yeah, it's 6% wing keyless in pink. Those are alignment pins? Oh, okay, cool. We should be able to use those in a bit. Wrong side screwdriver. J-Clom. You're good at eyeballing this usually. So we have got Bion bolt style screws here. Looks like you guys are picking the carbon fiber plate option. The JW Key Heri stock are some of my favorites. Yeah, the Heri switches are great. just drop that screw. Where did it go? There it went. We'll spend the points to get aloe to it. Looks like nobody. I do have some. Did you see the Greetech MX Browns, which is supposed to replicate vintage MX Browns? I didn't see that, but I do like MX Browns, unironically. Just grabbing some more switch choices. Okay, so here we can see a little bit more on how the gasket system works. You can see that they go into these gaps just here. So try and figure out which are the softest, because I want to use the softest on these. Oh, they're really soft. 24k points won't go far. Yeah, try and see. I think we're going to go for the white gaskets. These feel pretty soft, so we're just going to pop these in place. These are basically press fit. Oblique is the best 60, guys. Absolutely. I did. Aluminium. Yeah, I did say aluminum. I don't know why. I was just in... Like, sometimes I say vacation instead of going on holiday as well. And I think it's just because I spend a lot of my days speaking to American people that sometimes I just go into American mode. The vote, Jay? Oh, wait, it went to aluminium. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, well done. Well done, guys, for getting it to aluminium. Demotex, I hope you're still there and ready to do the vote for... That was a close poll. It was pretty close. Do the poll for the switches. Do you know if the patina is coated? It is, yeah. It is coated. You can see it's shiny. It's super cool though as a patina. Look at that. It's beautiful. I'll just install these and then I'll show you the switches that we're going to use. But actually, let's do the switches now. Demotex is here, getting the poll ready. Okay, so first up, we have Gateron Type R switches. This is what we have in here, very poppy tactile. Guess you got to do the democracy thing and overturn the result. No, we'll go for aluminium. That's what people have voted for. That's what we're going to go for. That's switch option number 1. Switch option number 2 is the Gateron Onyx switches. These have got like a little padded between the top and the bottom case, the housings. We have Sonia's. You have to vote for them, Manu. You have to vote for them. Sonia's. And we also have the Key Geek switches, the orange Key Geek switches, which I've forgotten the name of right now, but I will find very, very quickly. Switches, all in stock switches. What are they called? Shark something over there? Yeah, Sharky's Pumpkins. These are pumpkins. There you go. And last but not least, we have MX Blacks. No MX Blacks today. No MX Blacks. The Democracy Manifest. A succulent keyboard. Damn it, distracted whilst the poll was rigged. Nice. If those win, Gihern 60 raffle. Pomkin. Yeah, P-O-M, because they're Pomkin. I'll send you the link to the switches. They're really nice, actually. They are really nice. Jay, please can you explain to me how JTK HSA pink powder key set is £24 50 plus VAT in this sale? It's such a lovely set. I feel like I should get a second. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look. Did we do the switches with poll live yet? So HSA pink powder was already discounted from 115 quid to 42 quid including VAT, and now when you add it to cart you'll get 30% off on top of that as well, which will take it down to £29.40 including VAT, or £24.50 including VAT. So it was already discounted and you get it in the sale as well. We stocked these because the SPC wanted a pink key set and then no one bought it, so it's been in stock for a couple of years now, and yeah, we need to sell it. So yeah, that's why it's so cheap. There are light space bars and dark space bars as well, so you can pick those up too. There we go. Polls up, guys. Polls up. Get your voting on, and if you want to rig it, you can rig it. Definitely rigging these as Onyxes. Sorry, chat. Hey man, you got to do what you got to do. It was Sonya switches. So something. Sonya. It's the Sonya switches. There you go. Did I just hear a car revving by? Yeah. This is Bradford, right? People race cars up and down the main strip quite a lot. Either that or someone's stolen my car from outside. Which, again, it's Bradford, that wouldn't surprise me. RS3 Cosy Bros doing 200 miles an hour on Thornton Lane. Are you local? Are you one of the cool kids that does that? I'll go in, you absolute idiot. There we go. The only downside of using these really soft gaskets is that they sometimes overstretch the slot. Our family in Bradford, I go off. Fair. See, I drive an Audi RS4 as well, so like I feel like I fit in quite a lot of the time. But I don't drive that way, if that makes sense. I don't drive like one of the cool kids. There's a lot of rigging going on for these switches. Can someone make Pumpkin win? No chance now. Gator on Onyxes have won, so we'll be using Gator on Onyxes in this build. I do like how people got upset with the switch choices. Okay, so we're building with aluminium, solder. Do we need the alignment pins? I don't think so. We'll put them in anyway, I think. Will we? Where do the alignment pins go? I assume they're supposed to go in those slots there, but I don't think they are going to fit. No. Okay, we'll skip the alignment pins for now. I don't think we need them. I think there is more than enough alignment in the case already. Yeah, plenty of alignment. There we go. What switches are we using again? Onyx? Yeah, grab those. And then I need to find some stabilizers. Let's go. It's always a 5-cylinder or 2 liters. Okay. Would you like to see an ISO build or an ANSI build today, folks? Should we do another poll for this? A really quick minute-long one. Not that I can share just yet, but it won't be too long until pricing is available. Should we do a quick poll for it? A minute-long poll, ANSI or ISO? Let you guys pick. ISO, so Oscalane is wrong. Fair. Let's do it ISO. Let's do it ISO, just because Cloud 2717 said ISO. So we're gonna go with what they want. Okay, so we're gonna go full backspace. We're gonna go ISO enter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get the insert in properly. Wait, ANSI won? Oh, okay, so we're going to go ANSI. Okay, we're going to go ANSI because ANSI won. I didn't realize the poll was up for that. Okay. We will do as chat decides. When we rebuild this with the carbon fiber plate and a different switch, we will absolutely do it ISO then, because we've done this one ANSI. So we're going to go ANSI, ANSI. Okay. We have to do 7U spacebar, I think. Yep. Which is good. It's the correct spacebar size. I think there'll be a lot more builds of this board. It was just a really short vote. BAE depends on the key set. If you guys pick the right key set, we could do BAE, I think. Lost the battle. You rigged it for ISO. Oh, well. We'll do the second build of the board next week during the week next week for ISO, because we're going to build with the. I'm going to desolder it after we've soldered it tonight, and I'm going to rebuild it with the carbon fiber plate and my personal choice of switches, like how I want it to sound. Go together, will you? There we go. Okay, and we need full left shift. Rerun. Stop the count. I want a recount. Oh dear. I didn't realize the poll was going. Sorry guys. I apologize. But we'll do the second build of this board. ISO. So don't worry. There will be an ISO build of this board. We have 2 plates, so we can do 2 builds. I want a recount. Depends on the key set, because like BAE only exists in certain key sets and certain colorways. So whilst we have some, it depends on what key set we pick for it. And given it's a pink board, it kind of like limits choices. Okay, so that's our Type Plus assembled. Just gonna keep those out. Let's now lubricate these up. Just painting the wire inside the bottom of the housing here. And then we're just going to go on the edge of the wire here as well. It's going to look quite messy, but it's the best way of lubricating these that I've found. There we go. This is BDZ. Do you know, I don't own a set of GMK Panda personally. I really should pick up a set whilst it's in stock and on sale, because it is really, really nice. But I don't own a set personally at the minute. But I should pick up a set.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Kabumomi, for the follow. Appreciate that. Must buy keycaps. There's a guy planning on selling his keycaps to buy home. Yeah, I know. I want all the shiny things, though, right? Like, I'm a sucker for a shiny thing. And keycaps are often some of the shiny shinies. But yeah, I do need to buy a house, so I need to sell my house as well. If anyone's actually an estate agent and wants to help out, please let me know. If anyone wants to take all the hard work off my plate and do it for me, please just let me know. Why does this not want to stay together? There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's get these installed. Have to get going. Great to see you. See you, man. Thanks for being here. Moving house is a great time to declutter and downsize. Yeah, I mean, like, the issue I have is that I don't just have a house to move, I also have the workshop to move. And that's like a big undertaking. It's basically like moving 3 houses in one in a way. Because over the years, the company and myself have collected a lot of stuff. You were once an estate agent. If you want to just like handle it all for me, Gemma, and like just do it, that'd be great. Like, I'll be sad to see a lot of it go, and I genuinely will miss a lot of the keyboards once I've sold them, even the ones I don't use. I will genuinely miss them, because I like having them around. They're a part of me, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah. So a couple of things that'll be changing this year are things like hopefully moving house if we can get our offer accepted and actually sell our house, that'd be great. You'd love to help me, you're going on holiday. Damn it. Yeah, like if I really hope this house move comes off for us, because my wife has been desperate to move for about 5 years now, and because of the company we've never been able to. So I hope that happens, because like, she deserves it, and we both really like the house that we've found. So I really hope it happens, but it's so early because we've only just found the house at the weekend, and you know, we have no idea if they'll accept our offer, and even if we do, then it's a case of, you know, what if someone gazumps us and puts a bigger offer in, or, you know, what if we can't sell our house, or what if, you know, they want to move ahead and we can't, or, you know, I don't know. Like, there's a million things even after you find a house that can mean that you don't actually get to move. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I'm hopeful at the moment that we will be able to move. Will you sell them built with switches? It depends. I'll offer to desolder them. If people want them soldering, or they'll come as they are. Some of them have never been built, so Yeah, they'll come unbuilt, but the ones that are built will come either desolded if the customer requests it, or as they currently exist when I sell my personal collection. But that's a few weeks away yet. Did you end up having to jog that garage door? No, I wasn't allowed. It's not that house. We just that house felt too risky in the end. So cross my fingers for your wife. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. She deserves it. We'll give them a new and loving home. I hope so, man. I hope so. Like, I'll be happy that they're being used, even if I do miss them. But yeah. There was 2 houses that we went to see at the weekend that we'd seen before. One was a house that had been repossessed in the past, and the bank was selling it because the previous owners couldn't afford to pay their mortgage. And whilst it was a really nice house and it could be fantastic, it's got old sash windows that are made of wood. Well, not the windows are made of glass, but the frames are made of wood, and they're all really rotten and would all need replacing. And there is no kitchen currently in the property, so it would need a whole new kitchen putting in. You couldn't just live with what's there for now. You'd have to put a whole new one in. And also the garage is really important to me, because whilst I am going to sell a couple of cars, I will have at least a couple that will need to go in the garage. And they couldn't give us access to the garage because there was no keys for it and no fobs for it. So yeah, no access to a whole building that you're buying. It makes it a difficult buy for me. So yeah, so we looked at the other one, and the other one is still a great size. It has place for the for me to have an outside office in the garden. It has a nice garden. It has a nice house. It all needs work, but it's with 6 months and 30 grand thrown at it, it'll be ideal for me and the wife. So yeah, I really hope that it comes off. So thanks guys for all the kind words there. Hopefully it'll happen. It puts us in the part of the country we want to be in. Yeah, it's just all going to come down to mortgages next. We'll see how that pans out, and if the sellers will accept our offer. Oh man, this PCB is a tight boy. So we're just going to install the switches, and we're going to go broadly in a spiral direction from the middle, making sure they're fully installed. I did a polyfill mod and I screwed it, and I think I added too much. It was hard to screw, and I see a bit of bent. Is that okay? What's bent? It depends on what's bent. If your plate and PCB are bent, you're going to strain the PCB over time. I would advise you to remove the polyfill and unbend it. If it's a plastic case and the case is just bowing a little bit, it probably shouldn't matter too much, but it's going to strain your plastic over time and potentially cause problems. So it's probably the sort of thing that's worthwhile rectifying. Forever home, it would be our forever home. Yeah. With some work, it would absolutely be our forever home. The home we're in now, we bought in 2016, and we only intended to be here for 3 to 5 years. But then, of course, I started prototypist, and then we needed a workshop, so we had to lease a workshop, which was our original place just over the road from here. And of course that meant that then we couldn't move. Then of course COVID happened, and during COVID we needed to move to bigger premises. So we did move to bigger premises, but that came with a contract saying we had to be here for a minimum of 3 years. We've now been here for 3 years, so my wife's had to delay moving twice. It's now time that I give her what she wants, effectively. So and it works for me as well as the new place if we can get it. So I don't want to talk about it too much because it feels like it's tempting fate and it might not happen, and it's still in the incredibly unlikely position that it will happen because we've only just found it. We haven't placed an offer, we haven't done any due diligence, we haven't had any surveys done or anything like that, and all of that might change our position. But we'll see. I'm hopeful. Thanks, Rob. I hope it works out too. It's going to be a lot of stress though in the next few months, I think. Yeah, it's just an idea at the moment. We'll see if we can put an offer in this week. We'll try and get our house sold as quickly as possible. And for us, it we have like a place we can go to my mother and father-in-law's if we do sell the house in the meantime. So even if we sell our house first and then we can't complete on a new house for some time, that's kind of okay for us. We can work with that. So we're in a strong position, I think. We just need to get our house up for sale, get it sold, and then get moved. Thanks, Elvis. I appreciate it. I'm very stressed out about it. I might sound calm and collected and like I know what I'm doing, but I am incredibly stressed about it at the minute. And my wife said to me yesterday, she's like, can you just handle all of this stuff? Because she's like, I want the house, but I don't want all the stress of dealing with it, and I don't really know what I'm doing. It's like, okay, so that puts even more stress on me because now I have to do everything. So, one of those things, though. One of those things. Hopefully it'll work out. Okay, almost here with the switches into the board. Go for split right shift, sorry, not left shift, right shift. This build is ANSI, but of course we will be building the board ISO with the carbon fiber plate next week. So if you want to see the ISO build, please do tune in for that. Probably going to be Thursday afternoon, I think. Okay, one more switch to go. There we go. So that's all looking really nice and tasty. Left these two out because it is a wing keyless board. Next job is to get some soldering done. And during the soldering, guys, we usually do like an AMA. So if there's any question you'd ever want to ask me or any question you'd like to ask anybody and you'd like just someone's thoughts on it, feel free to just go at JPrototypist. My question is, and then ask me a question. And we'll do a little prize for the best question. Best question, I will send a free JCS keycap set. So we'll ship it anywhere in the world. You'll just have to pay your import duties. Just tag me with that JPrototypist and ask away whilst I get the soldering set up so we can solder. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick check for bent pins, make sure we've got all of the switches poking through and at the correct depth. Everything looks good so far. So I'm just passing by and going down each row, making sure that each switch has got 2 pins protruding. And we're looking good so far. Okay, yeah, all pins are looking good. Right. Cereal or milk first? Cereal first, then milk. Anything else would be the works of a psychopath. How can you put milk first and then put cereal in? You're gonna splash milk everywhere if you do it that way around. And how will you know you've got the right milk to cereal ratio as well? Yeah, definitely cereal first. I asked this last week but didn't get the full answer. What width is your solder? Sorry, it's 0.7 millimeters. This is 0.7 millimeters. I took ages for my first house. Offer accepted in April. Didn't get the keys until late September. Solicitors took a long time. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm hoping that we can put our house up for sale and sell it pretty quickly. It is in quite a desirable area, and other houses in the area have sold pretty fast. So I'm hoping that if we put ours up for sale, we can sell it pretty quickly. That would be the ideal aim. And if we can buy the house we want to buy, hopefully that will mean that we could get in there early in the new year, maybe like February, March time. That would kind of like be the ideal timeline, I think. And then start looking for a job as well in that time period too. Well, I think that's going to start towards the start of September. Actually, I'm going to start looking for actual work in a meaningful manner from the start of September. So hopefully that won't take too long either. When you move, will you mount the TV over the fireplace? No. So the actual house that we've seen, if we can buy it, the TV would be opposite the fireplace, on the wall opposite the fireplace, I think. Although we probably wouldn't use that room for TV watching. It'd become like a proper lounge type room rather than a TV room. We'd probably have in the kitchen stroke dining area, we'd probably have couches out there with the TV, to be honest. And then we'd just have like a proper movie set up in that other room and have like a more formal lounge. That is a place for the vestibule. The vestibule will go in my office, wherever my office is, whenever we move, depending on the house that we buy. I hope it's the one we've seen, because I really like it. And like I actually had, after we'd seen it at the weekend, I did have a dream last night about us living in it, which is bizarre, and that's not the kind of thing that I do. So yeah, I just hope it all works out. I'm very nervous about it all. Cereal floats on top until you push it in. Wait, well, yeah. Cereal in a pint glass, yes or no? I have done it. I am Quanta. I have done it. When I was younger, I did used to put cereal in a glass and milk in a glass and then almost drink it. It tended to be Frosties or Crunchy Nut Cornflakes, but I did used to do that when I was younger. I've probably not done that in 20 years, but you have just unlocked a memory of me doing that on more than one occasion. Juice and water? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you think the hobby is headed in the right direction? It's an interesting question. What do you mean by right direction? I think we have to define right direction there. I think the overall keyboard hobby is still having challenges. People struggle to support group buys because they're nervous around them, which is going to always be a challenge for the hobby. I think overall spending in the hobby is down. If you look year on year at every single vendor, spending is down. I think if you look at the number of projects that are failing to hit MOQ, they're going to increase as spend goes down. But at the same time, you are also in a position where things are as cheap as they've ever been, and availability is significantly greater than it once was. Like, if you look at all the stuff that we have in stock on the shelf ready to go, it's significantly greater than most vendors had 5 years ago. In fact, it's definitely greater than most vendors had 5 years ago. I'd almost say we've got more in stock now than any vendor had 5 years ago. You know, I think in terms of availability, it's headed in the right direction. In terms of price, it's been headed in the right direction, and prices can only go up from where they are now. I don't think you're going to see prices drop on anything anytime soon. So yeah, I think it's overall not in a terrible place. You'll see more homegrown group buys run by designers rather than vendors like we used to have, I think. Just because they tend to be easier for people to stomach supporting a particular designer than supporting a designer through a vendor, I think. So you'll tend to see more individual group buys pop up managed by the designers and run themselves rather than through true vendors. Just because of the nature of where the hobby's at. I hope that helps. Do you know? Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Okay, let's catch up with the questions. First thing that comes into your mind, you get one wish. Go. Well, peace. No more fighting. Let's just stop everybody fighting. I don't want anyone to fight anymore. I'm sick of people fighting, like, everywhere in the world. And over the silliest of things sometimes, like even small, like, scale fighting. Like, let's just get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. That would be my wish. Any comments on picking as power supply for the Pine Sill? I have a 65 watt, but some people recommend more like 100 watt. Wonder what you have currently. I have a 100 watt one. This is a 100 watt one, I think. I'll check. It doesn't say. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it's 100 watt. I use a Nintendo Switch power supply. This was one that was bought for the original TS100, and I've just used it with the Pine Sol. So yeah. Real shame you can't give yourself a paycheck and have to get another job on the top of PT in the roastery, but I understand. So the roastery is very small in terms of a business. It's not like doing enough business, and it only takes 4 or 5 hours a week to manage it. It's not like a huge thing. It's just more of something that I want to do. So it's not something that generates enough revenue to pay anybody a salary. Like it just doesn't. And all the money it does make gets reinvested back into it. And with PT, the money goes on rent and staff. And if we didn't have staff, we didn't have rent. Maybe I could pay myself. So yeah. If you work in a job where you have time for PT, how many hours a week does PT take you currently? Yes, I would be able to make the time for PT and time for job. Like I don't think any level of service would be impacted for PT if I get a job. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Who would be someone you'd love to have a discussion with? There's probably a ton of people I'd love to have a conversation with. If I could sit down with anyone, who would I want to sit down with? Who would I want to sit down with? I'd want to sit down with like Alexander the Great, because he's possibly the single most important person in history. And I think if you think about what he achieved for the world, I think he's someone that would absolutely be worthwhile sitting down having a long conversation with. I'd also like to sit down with kind of like, just to see how much is real Trump. Like, I feel like so much of him is just a caricature, and he's playing what he thinks he needs to be. I'd love to just see, like, be a fly on the wall maybe for that one. Just see how far it is away. Anyone else I'd love to... I mean, there's a million people I'd love to have discussions with. I'd love to sit down and have a chat with, like, Albert Einstein about relativity and try and understand it more. I'd love to sit down with the team at Bletchley Park that created the way of cracking the Enigma machine. You know, I'd love to sit down with them and have just a good old chinwag about it. I'd love to have my grandparents back and talk to them, because I wasn't interested in what they could tell me about life when they were growing up. You know, in the 1920s and 30s. Like, I never asked my grandma what it was like to live during World War II and get evacuated. I've never asked her. I'd love to sit down and have that conversation. So, yeah. Adam, hello, good sir. Thank you for being here. Here's a real question, a real classic. Jaffa cakes, cake or biscuit? There's only one correct answer. Clues in the name. They're a cake. If you have the bottom of it, the thing is, a biscuit will go soft when it goes stale. A cake will go hard when it goes stale. Jaffa cakes go hard. They are a cake. Proved in court for tax reasons. Yeah. Saber Class has said Jaffa cakes go hard when stale, biscuits go soft. Absolutely. You're rocking Sony headphones, right? Were you ever interested in the audio hobby, or are you afraid of giving yourself diving deep to the degree you'd spend so much? Yeah, these are the XM4s. I did have the XM5s, but they weren't as comfortable. The audio hobby is the one that I circle, and I am purposefully trying not to be Alice, and I'm turning away from the circle constantly, so I don't fall down that hole. Tell the British leaders pre-1950s how much the decisions they'll make will mess the world up? Maybe. Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan both had a big impact. True. I would love to have a drink with Plato or 10. I suspect he would drink us both under the table. He is what he shows. Maybe. Plato would drink you under the table. Yeah, like literally I just said that. Yeah, absolutely. Agree, Adam, agree. Do you have a favourite non-standard layout from a vintage keyboard? Yeah, I thought it was that keyboard there, but it's not. This is one of my favourites. This is, well, you'll see what it is in a second. There you go. This is really cool. But I like, in a very similar colourway, they did the original Commodore PC5 and PC10 keyboards with the macro keys here, the XT columns. That's what I really love. But there's some really cool things like this kind of arrow layout, which is really, really nice. This is a grabograph, yeah. Glad we all agree on the Jaffa cakes. Best question so far. Most important question so far, Jaffa cakes. What a chonker. It's a beautiful board. It's a beautiful board. Da Vinci would be a wild conversation. Not sure if it wouldn't all go over my head though. Da Vinci's an interesting one because, like, he was the epitome of the Renaissance ADHD, right? Because he was into everything: art, technology, science, you know, alchemy, the stars, astronomy. He was into everything. Like he was probably the poster boy for ADHD in the classical world, right? So yeah, it would be great to sit and have a chat with him as well. What the actual F is happening with the Gravograph numpad? Lots of cool things. If you could have the power to fix one product that has so much potential it doesn't work, what would it be? So cold fusion would probably be the one thing that I'd want us to fix, because it could provide pretty much unlimited energy if we get it right. There's actually been some really promising tests done on so it's to kind of like make it a little bit clearer. The nuclear power station we have today use a process called fission. There's also a process called fusion, which is slightly different and could generate significantly more power, and it would be a lot cleaner and cheaper. Well, it could be cheaper, but it would be basically unlimited free energy to an extent. And we should be using that alongside things like wave power and things like that. If we could give the world almost an unlimited supply of really cheap energy, it'd be great, game changing. Gotta go to bed in a second. I'm pooped from partying yesterday. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time. What would be your fave polycarb? All or top half of keyboard? All. I prefer all polycarb boards. I actually have one of the first polycarb boards ever made, or milled polycarbonate boards ever made, from LZ. It's the LZST from 2016. I have one of those at the drawer behind me. I'll show you. If I remember which drawer it's in. Here it is. This is the LZST, the first ever milled polycarbonate keyboard in the hobby. This sadly will be on the chopping block when it comes to it. So yeah, it's a beautiful piece of keyboard history, is this? But yeah. It's really nice. It's really nice. Right. Okay. I think the Jaffa Cake question was the best one because it made me chuckle. So whoever that was, if you want to reach out, I will send you a JCS set for free. Right. First job then is to get the daughter board plugged in, and then we can put the board together and test it out. Come on. Why does this JST connector not want to go in? Go in the hole, goddammit. There we go. Oh, I see how the alignment pins work now. I see how they work. We will pop them in. So the alignment pins just go in these corners, just like so. There we go, that's those all in place. Then we can put the top case on, screw it together, and then we will give the board a test. Hello, gorgeous. Nuclear is probably the cleanest form of energy. I don't understand the fear-hate over nuclear. I mean, the fear of it is, of course, you know, nuclear Armageddon. Whilst nuclear is massively going to be one of the big things of the future, and it should be bigger for power generation than it already is. It's a scary technology because people associate nuclear power stations and nuclear bombs and Chernobyl and all of those kind of things as being the same thing, and it makes it a difficult thing to talk about. That's a throwback, lovely board. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the board. It's a great board. Is there LZST? It's beautiful. I've been looking for a full polycard, but I haven't decided anything yet, even if it's second-hand market. Yeah, I mean that won't be cheap because it's got a lot of provenance and history, but it's something that'll be out there. It'll be in the collection when my stuff goes live later on this year. I don't know when I saw 660 layout IC last time. It's not particularly popular. I don't think there's been anything since the Borsdorf. JQ, hey man, good to see you. Thanks for being on time. Chernobyl would like a word. Exactly, yeah. Go in the hole, goddammit, also needs to be clipped. That's what she said. Any salamander TKLs? I'm afraid not, no. I don't have a salamander. Thank you for the set, Jay. I'll pop an email. No worries, dude. Is it fear-mongering that there have been several nuclear releases in history and current UK cooling pools for hot waste are very full? Yeah, I mean, it's not fear-mongering, but we just need to do it better, right? Just placed an order too, so it's good towing. Nice, dude, nice. Drop me an email and we'll get it sorted for you. Dyson Swarm is the new hotness, as well as being less demanding from a material science point of view. I wish that Dyson spheres or even Dyson rings were possible. I mean, don't get me wrong, theoretically that, but realistically, it's not going to happen in either of our lifetimes. That's a sad reality. But I wish it was possible. If you had to guess, how many of your boards would you say selling? Let's say 150 for now, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we'll sell all 400, but you know, 150 boards. Hopefully, I'd like to, you know, generate, you know, some decent money for the house purchase. Keycap choice. Well, we need to test the keyboard first, but yeah, let's test the keyboard first. Let's grab switcher to. Oh, that is not what I wanted. There, and steal the cable from this. Whoops, I caught the space bar. Let's give this, set this to ANSI, and let's give it a test. So we're all working. Just didn't press the switch properly. Caps lock, yeah. Okay, looking good so far. And then this should be the FN key. Oh, okay, FN might not be working because that should give us a number of keys, maybe. It's definitely soldered, is it? Yeah, it's definitely soldered. So maybe FN's just not set right. Maybe there's no layers on this keyboard. Maybe we just need to fix that. We can do that later. Cool, okay. It's working for all intents and purposes. Right, okay. Next job then is to pick some keycaps. Oh god, this is too heavy. Oh. There's a trade-off, and for sure it can be devastating if the waste is not handled and stored correctly, but if you look at the deaths caused by all the different sources of energy, nuclear is way low on the list, even including all the big accidents. Sure, yeah. The word Dicer is ruined by Brexiter in Innovator Man. It is. The radiation impact of coal is often underrated. Yeah, look at all the people that died during mining and everything else as well. And, you know, all of the cancer deaths from coal dust and things. It's, yeah. Pollution by coal as well. Yeah, all fossil fuels pollute. Yeah, you're effectively taking trapped carbon dioxide, burning it, and then you taking that trapped carbon dioxide out of being trapped and putting it into the atmosphere. It's terrible. Yeah. DCS Divina Papaya would slap on this. It would, but it's on this board. Okay, Right. Hopefully a friendly moderator is here and is able to help you guys pick a keycap set by putting a poll up. But I do have a few that I've grabbed that could work well with the set. Will work well with the board. The first is GMK Vaporwave. This might be a bit too bright, but GMK Vaporwave is option number 1. Hopefully, a mod's watching. No mod has responded, so I can do the poll if needs be. That's option 1. Option number 2 is HSA pink powder, which might work really well. Option number 3 is GMK Olivia with the UK ISO kit, which we won't actually need. And then option number 4, MT New Modo Light. And option number 5, GMK Muted. Yeah, I mean, we'll be building a UK ISO version of the board soon, so we can put Olivia on it maybe then. Okay, there is a poll up. There you go, guys. You can vote for what you want to see on the board. Those are the choices. We will need to have a reliable way to mine all of the rocks, asteroids, and planets in our solar system, which will give us enough materials to build a functional Dyson sphere around our reasonably small sun in comparison. Yeah, I mean, I can't see us ever building a Dyson sphere realistically in the next 1,000 years. If you've watched the TV show Foundation, though, which is based on the Isaac Asimov books, they do some really good representations of what that could look like. Because it starts out with just having like space elevators, which are very difficult to do, and then it ends up like thousands of years in the storyline having huge great rings around the planet, which is quite cool. There's a lot of pink powder votes already. Interesting. I didn't think people would go for HSA pink powder. The issue is tensile strength. Yeah. Can't spam vote quick enough for Modal to get to the top. I just ordered a set of pink powder. It's stupidly cheap right now. I have this. I have it up here. Look, it's stupidly cheap right now because the base kit was already reduced from 115 quid to 42 quid, and then when you add it to cart, you then get it taken from 42 quid down to 29 quid. It's stupidly cheap. It's absolutely stupidly cheap. We're basically giving it away. Like the actual raw cost for this set was about 96 quid. So like we're losing massively by selling them at this price. But they've been in stock for a year, and I think we've had like one purchase. So yeah, it's better that it goes to someone than sit on the shelves here and not sit around. Why is HSA winning? Because you haven't rigged it enough, Manu. Did you ever find the Danish battleship? Yeah, I showed it on stream a couple of weeks ago, Storesness. I showed it on stream a couple of weeks ago. Good chance to mention the good price. Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry, Manu. We're gonna do a second build with UK ISO, and we'll do it on the carbon fiber plate, and we'll do it with nice switches because that'll be my personal build, and we'll do it with Olivia. You can hide. This is the joy of testing how boards sound, right? You can't just use cherry-picked options all the time, sadly. Okay, so HSA pink powder has won. Okay, what joy. Let's hide the browser and get some keycaps on the board. I think the set's gonna look great. It's gonna look good. Might take a few minutes to put the keys on, but it's gonna look good. Come on, guys. Pink powder is on sale for a reason. Okay, let's just go with the light set here. I don't want to go with the dark set. Okay, this is okay. Is that 1.5 or is it? That's 1.75. Okay. Let's get rid of the keys that we know we don't need anymore.
Tasty, tasty.
Adamushki, thank you so much for the sub. I thoroughly appreciate you. Is that the right one for here? Yeah, I think it is. F keys. Oh, man. I don't think this has ever been on a board because it's really tight to push onto the board. It's not really different. It's not really a different font, just not quite the same. Wait, what? What? When it comes to keycaps, is there a clear Manu material that gets the vast majority of sales? Probably GMK. Probably GMK. Which most of their sets tend to be ABS. ABS, yeah. They do MTNU, which is PBT, but like it really depends because it comes in swings and waves. And I really want the signature plastic sets to do better as well. Just because they're in a tough spot right now with the deal falling through. This pink is nice with the board. The keycap set choice is actually really good from a colour perspective. It works really nicely, yeah. Works really, really nice. Do I personally prefer ABS or PBT? I personally prefer ABS. Cherry profile ABS tends to be what I go for. But I do like DCS. I mean, I like a lot of sets, to be honest. You doing another stream for right? Yeah, we're doing another stream for this board. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna do it on the stream twice. Try and do 2 streams for all of the bowl boards, to be honest, because they always sound so good in different combinations. So I always try and do 2 for them. I had to think about where S went then for a second. I don't know why. That's too big. Why would we put that there? Shame you couldn't get your hands on a Manta prototype stream. I think there's one on the way. I believe there is one on the way. throwing it on the floor. Like how this really relaxes the board. Nice. Are the Gator and Onyx coming back after you build height for them in a minute? Hopefully. I need to check with Manu if we can get some more. I do really like them. And they did sell very fast last time, so we should restock them really. That's the correct Shift J. Making progress now. It's finally coming together. Not too many more keys needed now. Okay, one more key needed. Why can I not find the key I need? Is that it? There it is. No, more than one key needed. 2 keys needed. There's control. We should have one new FN because I haven't seen one yet. There it is. There we go. That's the board already. The Americano Manta is so nice. It is. Manta will want to hurry up group buy-ins on the first. Yeah, like it should arrive. It's on its way, I believe, with the Manta prototype. Maybe we'll build it midweek actually. So yeah. But here we go. This is the Oblique. Look how good it matches. The dark color with the weight. That's actually really nice. That does look really, really good. Super shiny and slick on the keycap front. They do match with the board really, really well. I don't know which Manta it is. Bowl might have said, but I didn't catch it. The weight is level 2. This is a nice combo. It looks really, really good, doesn't it? Let's pause the music and let's see how it sounds. I believe the weight on this is copper, and then it's coated to patina. I think that is. This is really tempting, right? It looks really good. Let's see what it sounds like. We'll be placing an order for the Oblique. Yeah. Oh, it's brass, not copper? Okay. That sounds really good. Manu, I don't know what you were worried about because that sounds fantastic. Bearing in mind that that's SA key, HSA keycaps, that sounds really, really good. And it looks so nice. It looks so nice. The keycap set actually worked with it way better than I was expecting. It looks really, really good. Just leaning towards the Oblique. Onyx with Alu is weirdly amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think it would sound even better with cherry keycaps on. That sounds so good. Yeah, there's a lot more boom, as you say, Rob. the dark mods really bring it together with the weight. Yeah, well, the dark mods color is almost identical to the light color on the weight, so it kind of builds it together. So this color is almost the same as the light color here, so it kind of builds it together and like blends together really, really nicely. If you look at that, it works really, really well together. It does tie it together nicely. And as Rob says, HSA is like SA adds a boom kind of noise, like it's open and loud. And HSA does a little bit of that, but not detrimental to the sound of the board. That sounds really, really good. Looks and sounds really, really nice. It looks stunning, right? Look how good that looks. Pink. That's a pretty keyboard. That's a pretty keyboard. I wish I was a good photographer and could get like this shine, like down pat in nice pictures. Like the matte of the Anno with the shine on the keycaps just looks so good. And look how nice this ties together. This just really, really ties together. What a pretty keyboard. What a pretty, pretty board. HSA looks awesome. Yeah, and it's like 25 quid or whatever it is right now. Would this work with the Guru, or is it the wrong pink? I think it would work because it's quite a bright set, and I think it would work nicely. What a great set. Bingsu would also work really nicely. The cutout for the USB-C is nice. I should have talked about that because there's actually a load of stylistic choices here that I haven't talked about, such as the wedges taken out of the shape here that's mirrored here. So you kind of get like a replica of the shape here and then here as well. And then how that feeds onto this bit where you can see there's a transition. So it's at the same angle, but it's completely different shape. And then how that's transitioned into the USB hub. And of course, how it sits on the side profile where this has got a chamfer on it, or two-stage chamfer, into the weight. Just so you get that kind of weight peeking out from the bottom. And then also on the top, how you have the kind of cutout here, which is just really nice into the cherry front edge, front lip. It's just a very, very pretty thing all round.
Incredible.
Like when you look at it from the front edge, like it's so subtle is this dip here, but it's there and it's noticeable. And then it's here as well. So it's kind of like makes it feel almost like the keyboard's floating. Because you see it like this, it almost feels like the keyboard's floating off your desk. It's really, really cool. I feel like it wanted SA Grand Budapest. Do you know it's a set I don't own? We do have it in stock though, I think. Has a lot of small details. It's stunning as a board. Like the machine cutouts inside that we talked about earlier on, it's beautiful. Not got a pink board. Guess I'll have to order for one soon. Yeah. The carrying case resembles the weight shape. It does, yeah, I showed that earlier on. Top reminds me a little bit of the derivative, maybe, but the derivative was a curve, whereas this is a specific wedge cut out and then onto the cherry lip. Does have ISO, yeah. So we'll be building an ISO later on in the week. Depending on when the Manta arrives, we'll do a rebuild of this and the Manta as well at the same time if we can. Tried to do a lot of this board, to be honest. I'm so hyped for people to try. Dude, it sounds phenomenal. I tried it at the GMK event originally. I'm so hyped with it. That lip is nice. It's really nice. Look how it looks in the shadow here. You see it across here and it widens out to the end. Just where the wing keyless blockers start, it just starts to pick out, which is some really nice symmetry. And then you look at the kind of like view from the side, and it's difficult to show on camera, but you can see it like physically like taper away here. Like if I show you, look how it tapers away. Look at that design angle there. Look how this chamfer on this edge just runs into the corner. It's so difficult to show you in the lighting, but it just runs into the corner, like just super nice. Super duper nice. Look, there you go. It's beautiful. Where the wedge comes out for the weight here, which is where the feet sit. So there's all that space behind the keyboard, behind the feet. Super lovely. Tasty, tasty. Definitely show the case off. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. And it sounds really good. It is a bold design, yeah. He doesn't miss. He's really talented. Very, very talented. Yeah, super happy with that. This is going to sit on the desk any day that I don't need a TKL, I think, for the next week or two. Yeah, it sounds really, really good. Okay, cool. It's 10:30 at night. I'm going to finish up for the night now for the stream. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do take advantage of the sale. Get 30% off anything that's in the sale until the end of tomorrow. So you've got just over 24 hours for that. Please do catch up with us on Instagram and Discord. Don't forget, on Jay's Roastery, we're doing a daily roll for caffeine now, which is a really fun game where my daily morning coffee is decided by Dungeons and Dragons style dice rolls. And the one that I've already filmed tonight for tomorrow's episode, you guys are either going to be horrified or ecstatic at the punishment that I go through. So watch out for that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm going to head off to bed. I'll be back here at the workshop tomorrow, packing orders, getting ready for Tuesday when we're back open. I'll see you around on Discord and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a really, really, really good rest of your weekend. Thank you all for watching.